I always pray to God to send the angels to bring me food. Well, that is a prayer that Dari Poga, an old woman believed to be in her 80s, says every morning. She suffered leprosy at a tender age, and that has completely deformed her. She has lost all her 10 fingers and depends on only her 2 big toes to walk. Seth Kwame Boateng, who featured this woman in his latest documentary, Withered Skins, reports the old woman has also been abandoned by her children.
One of the communities where this reality is playing out is Grungu in the Wa West district, about 1.5 hour drive from the Wa municipality. I am headed there. The Grungu community-based health planning and services is where many of the cases are brought, mostly at very advanced stages. Mumuni Abubakari is the nurse in charge.
Family members think the condition is they attach it to witchcraft and other things, and because of that they are being stigmatized, and some are even outcast and abandoned.
Really?
Yes. And when they come here, they see the healthcare provider as a refuge, and that is why they come here. Some come no even health insurance, and when they come here, you have to treat such clients. They come no limbs and no digits. They can't even take fingerprints to access health insurance services.
On the outskirts of Grungu is the village of Motori. There is no paved road leading there. It was a big struggle getting through to this enclave, and it's the place we were confronted with some of the shocking stories about leprosy in this region. On a dirt compound is a thatched roofed mud house. Out of it, a frail-looking old woman emerges and walks towards a mango tree to get fresh air. Her name is Dari Poga, a woman possibly in her 80s, living alone in this part of the village with her 13-year-old granddaughter. Dari Poga suffered leprosy at a younger age, but at that time, she did not know what it was. She used local concoctions in the hope that she would recover, but over time, her condition worsened. She has lost all her 10 fingers, and from afar, you might think both hands have been amputated from the wrist. She remembers exactly how one after the other, she lost all her fingers.
Yes. Local medication, a black concoction she used to smear on the skin. Okay. Yeah, he used to smear on the body.
And did she know it was a medical condition or?
Say initially they sent her to Wa when the condition set in, and that time Upper West wasn't developed as it stands today, and she went there and they said there wasn't medicating as at that time, and she came back. She said the experience is that it will swell. It will swell from the digits, and it will start chopping off from the digits, from digit to a digits. Call them phalanges. One phalanges to the next phalanges to the next phalanges till it reached the palm. That was how they start falling, and that was the beginning where he cannot feed herself.
Leprosy affects the tissues, especially the cartilage, and then more importantly affects the nerves. Now when the nerves are affected, it means that there is loss of sensation. Okay? It's not loss of mobility, although there is to some degree, but largely loss of sensation because it's the peripheral nerves or the nerves that are on the surface, if we put it that way, that are affected. Which means that you do not feel pain, you don't feel sensation. For that reason, you can injure yourself and not realize it. Okay? So they end up with sores and with ulcers that eat away at the flesh. The disease in itself also technically eats away at the flesh the cartilage, and the bone. And so over the years, you get the digits or the extremities receding. And that's where you end up with this club-like features of the fingers or the toes.
And for this old woman, it appears the disease has also affected her eyes, so she tears up unknowingly. She manages to clean those tears with her disfigured hand. Daripoga has lost 4 of her 10 children. The rest hardly visit. In fact, for over 5 years now, none has visited her. All she has now is her life and her granddaughter. She goes to bed without any idea where her next meal would come from, until good Samaritans pass by and offer them food. Daripoga says at times they sleep on empty stomach.
Okay, what basically she's saying is that is food. If she get money, she can buy food and cook and eat. She's happy. Apart from that, what again she needs? That's what she's telling us.
All she needs is daily meals.
Daily meals. Yes, that's what she said.
Today, what she had survived on until our arrival was this mashed local staple called tuzafi, made of corn flour. It wouldn't take a child less than a minute to consume it all. But because it's not enough, Daripoga sips it hourly so it can sustain her throughout the day. Anytime she's unwell and had to visit the local health facility, she treks for miles on her deformed legs, which have only her 2 big toes left.
She rather said before she can embark on the journey, she needs to set off as early as possible before the sunrise. She have to walk small. Sometimes before she get to the health center, the cleaners are still even cleaning around. So she will wait when they finish cleaning everything. This take care of her, serve her the medication.
And then she treks back.
So you can see where she lives. You might think it's an abandoned structure. No, it's not an abandoned structure. That's where she rests her head. And at times when there's nobody here, she has nothing to eat because there's nothing she can do for herself. You can also check on where she sleeps. This is where she sleeps. And she's here alone with her granddaughter. And if the granddaughter is not available, there's nothing she can do.
Half of the little space inside where she sleeps is occupied by a number of cooking pots and other utensils. Some 2 small openings in this room provide some amount of ventilation for her. The structure looks very weak, one that could collapse anytime.
Leprosy is a disease that lasts for a long time. It can last for a lifetime. It may not send you to an early grave per se, but it will live with you forever and really take the joy out of life for you. So people can have leprosy and it can take up to 5 years or even 20 years for it to become manifest. And once you have it and it's not treated, you can have it for life.
The woman got into contact with us at the latter stages of the disease. And normally at the latter stages, it comes with a lot of complications. So once it comes to those complications, we may end up treating the disease. But issues of missing toes, missing fingers are very difficult to manage.
The myths and misconceptions surrounding the disease are making the leprosy fight difficult.